You know how they say it's all about the packaging? Impressions matter. Luckily, the local printing and packaging industry is making it easy for Trinidad and Tobago to make an impression that lasts, which is why the Ministry of Trade and Industry has earmarked this sector for further development. So much of what we see all around us is possible because of printing and packaging. And it's all done right here in TNT.
The local printing and packaging industry began to emerge in the late 1970s, developing hand in hand with homegrown food and beverage products as a result of the import substitution regime, which forced Trinidad and Tobago to be more self-sufficient. The industry was initially focused on serving this growing manufacturing and export sector. After all, products needed to be branded, and the branding required quality printed labels. The industry has evolved from being a support business for food and beverage into a regional leader in printed products, packaging fabrication and use, which means that its market share has increased exponentially as well. A well-deserved reputation for consistently producing quality printed matter has allowed local printing and packaging companies to penetrate not only regional markets but also gain a foothold in countries as diverse as the United States, Costa Rica, and Mexico.
We are in a global marketplace competing against global printers, and we have always had, in order to compete with them, to keep up with the technology. It's very important to keep reinvesting in yourself and investing in technology so that you could do it faster, cheaper, and more efficiently, and with greater quality.
Printing and packaging is now a popular business. There are almost 200 firms in the local industry, and the lion's share of them is dedicated to printing, a critical support service for a myriad of other industries, from agriculture to tourism. It is also a sector that is attracting a high degree of investment. In some instances, as much as $2 billion TT dollars a year. The printing and packaging industry employs almost 4,000 people, and the average worth of exported products for the sector is over 300 million TT dollars, accounting for about 3% of our country's annual GDP. The industry is subdivided into several specialities: commercial, labels and packaging materials, paper-based items, plastic packaging and rigid packaging. But the Ministry of Trade and Industry is bringing all stakeholders together in order to develop the sector into a globally competitive, world-class printing and packaging industry.
Government signing a letter of intent to construct and manufacture polyethylene locally, and that is to do with the ethylene complex. I think this will give a huge fillip to the plastics industry locally and really give it the competitive advantage that we need at this point. As the industry requires significant technology to be competitive, one has to invest. One has to also recognize the economies of scale that we have to build our manufacturing plants to do, to compete with the other companies in North America and beyond that have large markets that are home markets, that if we have to intrude or come in and compete, we have to basically be on a level playing field.
There is significant investment opportunity in the sector through joint ventures and strategic alliances with larger companies, which may be more technologically advanced and can facilitate the transfer of skills to staff. Education, training, and equipment upgrades are also areas that are ripe for investment, given the constant and rapid technological advancements in the industry.
Training is probably the most important aspect that is not currently filled in our industry. The John Donaldson Technical Institute used to be the go-to place if you wanted to get staff or send your staff to be trained. They've not been offering any of the courses for a couple of years now. There's a restructuring taking place under the UTT, but we're all anxious to see it come on stream. We're waiting rather impatiently to be able to send our staff on more training, to upgrade their skills.
A world-class training facility for graphic designers would be a welcome addition to the local printing and packaging landscape, and can be accomplished through a joint venture among local industry stakeholders, government and foreign partners. Joint venture partnerships would also be beneficial in the specialized areas of publishing, labeling, recovered plastic and packaging materials, packaging and design, and the supply of raw material. The investment incentives are attractive. Income tax waivers on dividends from profits derived from the manufacture of approved products, VAT relief on imports for capital-intensive enterprises, duty-free importations of equipment and raw materials, and the ability of foreigners to purchase up to 30% of the cumulative shareholding of a public company.
With those kinds of incentives in place, the local printing and packaging industry should see even more growth in the years to come. So, the next time you use a cardboard box or a shopping bag, pass by an impressive billboard, exchange a business card. I'll be in touch.
No problem.
Or get an invitation to a party. Know that it was printed, packaged, and produced right here in Trinidad and Tobago.